Have you ever wondered what are the best keywords to choose for targeting your website? Have you ever been in that situation but also had very low search volume for those keywords, a topic that's not crazy popular? We're going to tackle that topic here in this episode today. Welcome back to Local SEO Tactics, where we bring you tips and tricks to get found online. I'm your host, Jesse Dolan, joined here on this episode, Mr. Bob Brennan,
Howdy.
Sue Ginsburg. How you two doing?
Hi, doing great, thanks.
Doing good.
Sue, we do ask once in a while, not like we did for a number of episodes a while back, but where the heck are you today? We haven't talked about this in a while.
Yeah, today in Austin, Texas, where I call home, or where I call half my home half the time. In Austin, Texas, where it is cloudy and has been very rainy, but the sun is coming out, the temperature's going up into the 60s, and it's a good day to play pickleball later on.
Craze that is pickleball, right? I haven't gotten into it yet myself. Of course, with this winter, Bob, that we have this year up in Minnesota here, we had winter for like a week there. It seems like it's finally breaking for us, quote unquote. It's weird, super weird. Weather aside, Sue, what are we talking about here today?
Interestingly, this question comes to us from halfway around the world, from Thailand, a listener from Thailand asking us, how do you choose the best keywords for your website? And her exact write-in says, the search volume for our product is extremely low. Our business is an overnight charter in Phuket. Phuket is an island south of Thailand, and we are unsure which keywords to choose. The most related keywords would be yacht charters, Phuket, which is way too competitive for our website. We don't know what keywords to choose for our website. Can you help? So, cutting to the chase, how do you choose the best keywords to get found online? The quote of the day today is, if you have always done it that way, it is probably wrong. That's a quote from Charles Kettering, American inventor, engineer, and businessman. So to share a story or to set up the question, I think we all know that keywords are a very important part of SEO. And I was really glad to see this question because I know that she is not the only business owner to have this question and be thinking about this. Every person doing SEO would love to know the secret formula to finding the best words. And I'm sure Jesse and Bob will give us some insights, but as far as I know, there is no secret formula. I will set the stage by using different words to say one of Jesse's favorite sayings, it depends, by saying that choosing the best keywords is both an art and a science. There is no magic formula that's foolproof. It's an evolving process, and what brings you results one day or one quarter may or may not bring you results the next quarter. When we do our keyword research, we look at our client's website, their competitor's website, and the industry websites, as well as ask the business owner what keywords they'd like to be found for, what searches they'd like to be showing up in. And while our research does show us how many searches were done on each keyword in the past 30 days, the keyword showing the most amount of searches is not always the one or ones that you want to choose. You want to make sure that the keywords that you are focusing on and that you want to optimize your website for are keywords that will bring visitors, that you can help, you can solve their problem, you can offer them solutions, etc. For example, we have a client who services trash compactors, but they don't sell trash compactors. And we need to be careful to attract visitors to the website looking to fix their trash compactors and not looking to buy a new one. This took us a long time. We worked on, and it took us a long time to get Google to understand that we fixed or repaired trash compactors, but we were not selling them. So if you had a broken one, you could come to us to repair it, but not to buy a new one. You want to make sure that the keywords that you choose are bringing searches that your website and your business can address. If not, you're going to have a lot of frustrated visitors coming to your website, and nobody wants that. So let's see what our experts have to say that can help us all be a little smarter. Jesse and Bob, what can you tell us about how to choose the best keywords for your website and for your business?
Thanks. Starting off, Bob and Sue, let's let everybody know. I pulled up some episodes that we've discussed this in different ways in the past. So just real quick for everybody, we had episode 9, what are keywords, choosing the best keywords for your website. 9 and 10. These are going to be painful if anybody has been a long time listener to the show, or like Bob, if we go back. This is 2 of the first 10 episodes. I can imagine how good some of the audio must be. But I do know we covered some pretty broad and almost evergreen topics early on. So yeah, 9 and 10 here. Number 10 is spying on your competitors. We're going to talk a little bit in here about doing some keyword research on your competitors, right? Because all this is really centered around like, God, my niche is really low volume. How do I find the right keywords, right? We also had episode 68, how to do keyword research for SEO content writing. Number 121, should I focus on high volume keywords, which is kind of the opposite of this situation. And 124, applying basic local SEO to your homepage and geography for your keywords and your geography. And mentioning that one last because as we talk through this, the geographic references here are going to be a part of the keyword strategy. We're not going to talk about that as much. We're talking really about the main service here. But anytime we talk about a low volume keyword, if it's low volume to begin with, and then you also add that geographic modifier, right? Like Bob, we've talked for years, and I think even on the show, like sprinter repair, right? We've done a lot of work in sprinter van repair. And that's pretty niche for a vehicle, pretty niche for needing a repair on that vehicle even further. Now you layer in there any particular city, and there's just not a lot of search volume, right, for that phrase. So kind of that stuff being just out there on the cursory information, check those episodes out. There's going to be a lot more in depth on those particular topics. But first things first, you're going to want to start here with doing some keyword research. And I would almost say don't be having the blinders on thinking that your niche is small, your volume is small. Just start doing some keyword research. Let's develop a big list first, or as big of a list as possible, and see what we can come up with. Get everything out of your own brain first and foremost. It could be industry slang. It could be some things that you use. It could be things that you hear your customers using, things like that. You're also going to want to, like I just mentioned, reverse engineer your top competitors. And I think there's a little bit of a, dance back and forth on this. Like, do some searches in Google, and maybe if you come up with the first 5 or 10 keywords, right, that you think are pretty good, do some searching in Google, see who's showing up consistently for those same terms, not who just shows up at the top for one of those terms individually, but find somebody who's targeting the same content because they're showing up regularly, right, for these terms, and research their content. I'm not saying just pick one site if there's 2, 3, or 4 even, right? But take a look at their main navigation, take a look at if they have a blog, take a look at some of their inner pages. Usually go up in the top header, click through the menu, look at the footer of the website, kind of see what inner pages they have, and just see what are they talking about. Maybe there's some ideas on how they're attacking a certain topic or piece of content, what they're talking about, just some keywords maybe you didn't consider. That's usually a pretty good area. And again, here, if we're layering all this on, your keyword volume's already low. What do you want to target? What are you going to be talking about? These are a little bit more important in these situations. And all this definitely echoes what Sue said on the front side, that you shouldn't just jump to what's the highest volume keywords. It's okay to have low volume keywords. More than anything, I think making sure that these keywords are the right ones, for your business. So that being said, as you're looking at these top competitors, if they're not the same kind of business as you, right? In this case, with the yacht chartering, if it's the size of the yacht, or again, the geographic area, or the types of services provided, you want to keep stuff in bounds and kind of keeps us relevant to your business. Don't blindly just copy what everybody else is doing, of course. And then, of course, here you can just pick your keyword tool of choice. We're not going to endorse anything particular. I mean, we use all kinds of different tools. Just do do a do a Google search for keyword research tools, right? Or keyword finder tools, things like that. There's going to be some free tools. There's going to be some paid tools. And you can also just kind of do this yourself as well, right? Doing a Google search, finding the competitors, going through what I just talked about. And then also if you scroll down the page, you'll see like people also searched for. You can kind of riff on that too, see if there's some other words that come to mind. And just kind of keep looping on that, rinse and repeat, and get a big list. Now, so that's kind of the first thing. Just do some keyword research and get a big list, right? Now, if you think about if you have a low volume keyword, and Bob, we've talked about this in more of a geographic sense too, which I think is in play here. You kind of have a chance to be able to shine, right? If it's low volume, usually it's lower competition. Not a lot of people are going after it. Not going to be as hard, to really kind of make a spot for yourself in that topic. One of the keys on that to really, it's not just to get found, but also make sure you're providing answers, providing information for people is starting to look at what kinds of questions that you're getting as a business, right? So even if it's not a particularly broad topic, high volume topic, if there's something that a lot of your clients and prospects keep asking you as a business owner, pay attention. These are the kinds of topics we're going to want to talk about on the website. They will be found by people looking for those questions, right? And if you can answer those questions, Bob, we know that's a pretty darn powerful signal to be sending to people as well, not just for being found in search, but converting once they land on your page, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just kind of I'm Googling charters, Phuket. But continue your thought.
Hey everyone, sorry to interrupt your episode. I just wanted to read a great 5-star review that we got here from an audience member, Triggity T. 5-star review says, super glad I found this podcast. I was looking for a couple of podcasts I listened to on my commute to and from work in the SEO spectrum to help with my large brand's digital marketing efforts, as I'm really just getting into SEO from the traditional and experimental marketing world. This show has really answered all the questions that I wish I could ask Google, and I have sent the link out to some of my retail locations when they have questions about Google. That's great. We appreciate you sharing it. We appreciate you tuning in, and I love that you're getting some value out of it. This is what we're trying to do here with this show. Hopefully, it's working for you like it's working for everybody else. All of you out there listening or watching, if you haven't left us a review yet, we would love to hear it. I ask for this all the time, and it's the number one feedback mechanism that we have for this show that lets us know that this is working for you and that you do appreciate it. If you're so inclined, if you haven't done so yet, we'd love to hear from you. Go out to localseotactics.com, scroll down on the bottom, click the link for reviews. There you'll find it's very easy to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Facebook, Google, whatever you choose. We'd love to hear from you, and we really do appreciate it. So as you're going through that, again, these are some areas to kind of tease your brain to keep developing a list of keywords. And then not just your keywords, but what are the actual topics and what is the intention of your content, right? If we talk about targeting keywords, that means we're creating pages or maybe blog posts on our website for those keywords. You can't just throw a keyword up on a page, right, and have it rank. You have to produce some content around it. So for your business, what kind of content are you going to produce putting around surrounding these keywords? There is going to be multiple types of content that you can think about. Again, I would try to get inspired by what the competitors are doing and get some ideas there. Are you going to make blog posts that get into how to do something? Why should you do this? What to look for in blank, right? Especially if you talk about the charters, there's, all the work, if you will, the research about pre-charter, right? Selecting the right, preparing for, planning, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure you can find a ton of information, a ton of ideas, I should say, on that. Then there's while you're on the charter, while you're experiencing it, and maybe afterwards, right? What do you do immediately right away to either recover, get back in your time zone, book again for next year, right? There's a lot of different types of content. It's not just about the keyword that you're trying to target to put out there. So take that into account as well, because the more content you can put out that's helpful, that's informative, and is answering the questions that your prospects are already asking, then you're going to be a better resource online. Google's going to look to you to provide that information. And that's what the rankings are all about, right? You're being shown as the best result for a certain search for everybody else. A couple other nuggets here to consider, especially if you're attacking low volume keywords, is, Sue, you kind of touched on it earlier. Maybe you can't compete against some higher volume, like larger call to action type keywords, right? Depending on your business, maybe just the nature of it, your size, maybe what you can and cannot promise. Maybe you can't compete on those keywords, and you do need to look for the ones that are more boutique, if you will, more specialty, maybe a little longer tail. If it's not overnight charter, right? Is it overnight charter catering to a certain thing, a certain feature, right? Try to kind of get those superlatives and tack on to those. This is a little bit of a pivot, kind of, we can wrap it up here. If your volume is really, really low and just you're not getting a ton of exposure, or you think you're going to be limited just in Google search period, consider other forms of search, right? This could be something like maps, Apple Maps, things like that, or even social media. We think of social media just scrolling, right? Just doom scrolling through things, but it's also a great resource to find stuff. I think everybody's probably searched in Facebook for something, right? Or searched on Instagram. Especially for talking something tourism, travel, things like this that are popular in social. Maybe there's groups about these particular topics. Putting your content, the same types of content or information that you might have on your website, out there in social media can also be a powerful way to just get found. When we talk local SEO, we're not talking local Google, right? It's just being found in search. So where are people searching? Make sure you're aware of that. Social media can be one of those spots. YouTube can be one of those spots. And try to get your content in those areas as well. You don't have to have completely unique and original content for all these platforms. It's the same stuff you'd be putting out otherwise. Just make sure you're hitting on all those platforms. And when you're talking low volume, every little bit helps, right? So,
Jess, what are keyword clusters, and how are they relevant in this situation at all? Or?
Yeah, it can be keyword clusters. So when we talk about developing the content for your website, you can either have like a silo of pages where you're going to make multiple pages on a particular topic, kind of link those together. Or maybe you're going to make a more extensive page where maybe you're going to break up those topics of keywords. I'm sorry, maybe you're going to break those keywords into various topics and have unique pages. You can also bring those together and have a more extensive page, be a blog post or a page on your website, and kind of grouping that content within that main page, kind of cascading down. That would, like, if you're going to cluster some keywords together, again, maybe it's like, just like we talked the example of what to do before your excursion, during excursion, and after, right? Just as the only example that comes to mind. So on that, I would definitely lean on, again, what's working in Google right now. If you do some searches and you're seeing what the competitors are doing, what kind of content are they putting out for your space? What seems to be ranking, and which of those tactics are they employing? You don't have to copy what they're doing, but definitely pay attention to what they're doing. So, hey everyone, just a quick message about our free SEO audit tool on localseotactics.com, and we'll get right back to the show. If you haven't taken advantage of it yet, go on out to localseotactics.com/free SEO audit, or look for the yellow button up in the top right corner. Click that. And it's going to take just a couple seconds. You enter in the page that you want to optimize, what you're looking for the audit to score against. Enter in that page, enter in the keyword you're looking to get optimized for, and enter in your email address, click the button, and it's going to take a few seconds, and then it's going to send you off a PDF report via email. It's a great report. It's going to kind of give you an overall score of some vital SEO areas for that page and for your website at large, even though it's auditing this page. That's going to tell you some of the good things that are happening, some of the bad things that are happening too, and give you basically a checklist of some things that you need to shore up and what you can do to improve your SEO for that page, for that keyword that you're auditing. Now, you can use this as many times as you want. You can do multiple keywords, multiple pages, multiple keywords on the same page. You can even use this to check against your competitors, right? If you want to do a little reverse engineering, see how they're scoring for a certain keyword, what they may be doing good that you're not, and some things to improve there. So lots of different ways to use it, completely free. Again, go on to localseotactics.com/free SEO audit, or look for the yellow button in the top right corner of the website.
Is there any way we could do barter with this person? Because don't know if you've seen this part of Thailand. Is well, all of Thailand's gorgeous, but this place is just incredible. It's like Bora Bora.
You don't ask, you don't
Yeah,
get, right?
exactly.
So I'm just glad Sue informed me that you say it's Phuket on the front side of the episode, because I was waiting to get into the pronunciation parts of this, and I guess we don't have to go there now. So come on, guys, that's fun. Nobody can hear
Well,
you smiling.
it's Midwestern slang or our whole language. Okay.
Yeah. So no, all jokes aside, though, I think everybody out there, especially if we talk local SEO, you're going to be faced with low volume keywords, niche keywords. This isn't anything new, no matter what country you're in, everywhere else. Really, at the end of the day, Google wants to rank good, useful, helpful information. So if you just don't focus just on it, like as a keyword, what have I got to get? What have I got to attack? It's about the content you're creating, the answers you're providing, right? And how are you helping people with the information? I'd say that's just as important as the keywords that you're picking. So, all right, Sue, anything to close it up and wrap it up here? I think we're pretty good on the technical side.
I would say if you remember one thing and one thing only, remember this. Keyword research is both an art and a science. Be thorough in your keyword research and make sure your business can serve the visitors searching for the keywords that you choose to optimize your website for, because that's the name of the game, attracting people to your website who you can help and serve with your solution. So to repeat the quote of the day again, if you have always done it that way, it is probably wrong. That's Charles Kettering, an American inventor, engineer, and businessman. And I'll say thank you to Flo of Faraway Yacht Charters in Phuket, Thailand, and hoping that this helps all of our business owner listeners.
If you're out there and if you got a question like Flo that you think we should address, we'd love to hear from you. Go to localseotactics.com, scroll down to the bottom, click the button click the link, it's not a button, to submit a question. Love to hear from you. We'll put it on the show. And if it's something you think that you need help with or a question you'd like answered, guarantee somebody else listening wants to hear that as well. So let's help each other out. Localseotactics.com, scroll down to the button and submit your question. Love to hear it. Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Sue. Thanks, everybody else, for tuning in, and we'll catch you all on the next one. Take care.
See ya.
Thanks, Flo.